The persons who are declared foreigners by the Foreigners Tribunal system in India face multiple risks, including prospective statelessness, detention in detention facilities, and the detention pending deportation, as well as the actual prospect of being deported from the country. Persons who are declared foreigners by the Foreigners Tribunal system are often at the lack of knowing a particular way or process through which they would either be detained or deported. There is no standard operating procedure on the basis of which the Assam Border Police operates to detain someone when they are putting them into detention centers. Assam currently has one standalone detention center in a place called Matia in the Gwalpara district of Assam, which has a housing capacity of about 3,000 to 3,500 inmates, making it one of India's largest detention space. Before this, from 2009 to about 2023, Assam operated 6 different detention centers in multiple district jail and central jail wings, where persons who were pending deportation were kept until they were deported. The detention center in Matia today operates as a standalone center for all declared foreign nationals as well as convicted foreign nationals. Due to the persons who appear before the Foreigners Tribunals having long-standing ties in India and their families having been in India for decades, they have no genuine or relational ties with the state of Bangladesh, where the Indian government claims to deport them eventually. Through RTI responses and publicly available data, we know that till about 2022, only 6 declared foreign nationals have been deported, out of which 4 were deported to Bangladesh and 2 were deported to Afghanistan. However, all of the declared foreign nationals who appear before these tribunals actively claim the citizenship by birth provision under the Citizenship Act, which means them as well as their families have been in India for a very long time, and it is virtually impossible to deport such families who have no known place of address or residence in the state of Bangladesh, which invariably means that once a litigant has exhausted all their legal avenues, they continue to be stateless and are exposed to the risk of indefinite statelessness, since they are deprived of their Indian citizenship and do not have access to any other country's citizenship. What this invariably means is that for a person who is detained and in a detention center, there is no real prospect of deportation, nor is there any prospect of reversing the decision by the Foreigners Tribunal if they have exhausted all avenues. They continue to live in this state of limbo, and a lot of times if the local district magistrate or the local superintendent of police of a district is informed of this decision of declaring someone a foreigner, they also lose access to socio-economic schemes introduced by the government of India through the Aadhaar, for example, or ration that they can avail, and invariably have to live a much more burdensome life in sort of getting things together and even having access to jobs and employment or a workforce. Invariably, a lot of the men who get declared as foreigners are the sole breadwinners for their family, which leaves entire families, including their children, in a state of indefinite statelessness, especially their children, since in India citizenship is passed on. And if a person is declared as a foreigner by the tribunal and has exhausted all legal avenues, it invariably means that their children are also at the risk of indefinite statelessness and continue to have no legal status, and thus having extreme difficulty in getting access to resources for the rest of their life. The government of India has not worked any mechanism to redressing such issues when the questions of indefinite statelessness or statelessness come up in the fold of declared foreign nationals, and only from a recent order of the Supreme Court in 2019 and 2020 do persons get bail, immediate bail after serving 2 years in the detention center present at Matia Gwalpara. To do that, the person has to ensure that they have a surety, and a surety amount of 5,000 rupees needs to be registered with the state authorities and the border police authorities, only after which a person can secure bail. For a lot of people who have been in detention for so long and have been declared foreigners, sometimes securing a surety is also an extremely difficult ordeal, which means that there have been documented cases where persons have been in detention for over 10 years, for over 7 years, for over 12 years, and have not been able to secure bail. Their status at best remains uncertain, and at worst, they continue to be stateless.